Hey everybody, welcome back to Zach Tech Reviews. On this channel we look at tech, mobile accessories, and gadgets. And here we finally are. This is my full review of the Vivo X20 Plus UD smartphone. As you guys probably know, I received this phone last month. You can check out the link up here and also down in the description. And this is the first smartphone to use a under display or in glass or in display fingerprint reader. You can see right there, put my finger on it, unlocks, and actually I'll demonstrate again here with a different finger. Again, you can see the sensor area right there, and you can see not unlocking, but as soon as I put my thumb on there that is registered, it is unlocking. So there we go. This is actually the 9th time that I've sat down to do this review. Why did it take me 9 times up until now to finally get this done? Well, I was looking at some different angles of doing the review, some different ways of presenting, and I wasn't completely happy. I was kind of taking a safe route at first, where I was going to show kind of highlights, pictures, you know, DxO mark, things like that, and basically leave it up to you as the viewer to decide if you think this is a good device. I want to give you my complete honest thoughts on this and kind of go from there. Basically, I want to get really into the nitty-gritty here, so hopefully you guys like the type of review we're doing here. First of all, love the display. Obviously the highlight of this phone is the in-display fingerprint reader there. You can see right there, unlocks. Nothing on the back. I actually have the soft OEM case that came with it here. Makes it quite nice to hold on to. It's not as slippery. But on top of the size there, a negative is the actual size. So while I like the screen size, I actually find it a little too big. This is definitely a two-handed phone. When you compare it to something like, say, the new Samsung Galaxy S9, the S9 obviously has the curved edges. Even with a case on here, you can see here that the Vivo is definitely a lot bigger and definitely a lot wider. You know, I've got big hands, and I still found this a little difficult to use. So even with one hand, we'll go ahead and lock this. Oh, and there's another thing right there. Sometimes it didn't unlock. I always felt like I was kind of stretching all the way over here to hit that back button, and was obviously a little bit annoying there. So I definitely had to always use two hands when I was using this device. For the people that are watching really closely, you can see I've actually put Nova Launcher on here, which has really been quite nice. Now I've got the app drawer and everything like that. Of course, a lot of the icons still have that Fun Touch UI look. The normal UI that's on here is called Fun Touch, but here's something I did find, and I could never figure out how to fix this. And if you know how this works, please let me know. But I did a ton of research on this, and I could not figure out how to make it stay. But whenever I hit the home button here, it goes back to the normal home page for the normal Fun Touch UI. Then I have to hit Nova Launcher again, obviously, to get back. That only happens when I hit the home button there. So it goes back. I have gone into the Nova settings, and I have told it, you know, when I hit the home button here, to go back to the Nova home screen. It doesn't do that. And again, I have to go back into Nova every time. I have to set as default. So again, we're going to go in here. We're going to go into home screen, Nova. So you can see there that's set. We're going to go back. You can see that that's set, but as soon as I hit home, it defaults back. Again, I have to go back into Nova, and I have to go in here, and I have to basically set that back up. So really annoying. I've set up the phone, I've set up all the defaults, I've set up all the permissions all properly, and it just won't stick. And from what I've read a little bit online, it seems like it's a Fun Touch type thing. So if you know how to get past this, hey, great, let me know. But yeah, I try to avoid hitting the home button, so I wouldn't always go back to that, so I can still have, you know, the type of UI that I want, which is one of the best parts about Android. But that's what happened there with that right there. As you guys saw earlier, this fingerprint reader, the in-display fingerprint reader, didn't always read. Sometimes I'd I put my thumb there and it would take forever to read, or I wouldn't put my finger quite over the right spot, it wouldn't read. So you can see right there, it didn't read because I had my thumb up too far. I had to make sure it's just the right spot. So I think, you know, a bigger sensor. I know that there's a new model of a Vivo that's out right now that actually has a larger sensor that actually covers half the screen. I think as the technology gets better, we'll see that obviously improve. But you know, I would say probably about 85% of the time it was capturing my fingerprint properly. You know, compared to something like, say, the Galaxy S9 Plus here, where right away it was unlocks no problem, or even something like my OnePlus 5T, You know, it's very easy to kind of slide your finger in the back there and away you go. I always found with the Vivo here, obviously because I was used to something like this, you get used to having it on the front, but I'd always have to visually look to put my finger on there. Whereas, you know, like I said, with a phone that has a fingerprint reader maybe on the back, you can basically feel for that. And I feel that that's a major advantage until, you know, we can kind of get a full half display going like some of the new Vivo phones or whatnot. But, you know, again, kind of minor. Let's talk about the camera. Very happy with the camera. As you can see up here, DxO Mark has given it a score of 90. I'll leave a link down there. You know, whether you look into DxO or not, you know, it is a good kind of a good platform to look at. But again, I honestly believe that any phone that you've purchased maybe in the last 3-4 years are all going to have good cameras. I think nowadays we're kind of being nitpicky on cameras and how things look. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the photos I did take here. You can see I got this right here, kind of using a bokeh effect here with you know, background blur and whatnot. And, you know, everything's coming out nice and crisp. Go ahead and move over. Went out to the mountains a few weeks ago. You know, captured everything really nice. And again, everything shows up really nice on this gorgeous display here. Actually, we headed out to the mall today and saw this little R2-D2 unit there I want to get for my desk. Pretty cool. And yeah, just a picture of a plant there in the mall. So, you know, colors and you know, the camera itself, very, very good. You know, pretty happy with how things turned out there. And you know, another negative, let's go back to the negatives again here. You know, it uses micro USB. And I think a reason that Vivo did that is to bring down the cost. So you can look at it like that, or you can look at it as a disadvantage. Micro USB is still widely used. Again, this phone is only available in China unless of course you import it and then you put the Google Play Store on there. So anyway, overall guys, I'd give the phone a thumbs up. You know, if you're in China or in a market that you can get this phone, you know, definitely look at it. But you know, definitely take some of the points that I've brought up here into consideration, and hopefully other brands taking advantage of this technology from Synaptics, embedding it in with their displays there, and hopefully getting to a completely bezel-less future. You know, there's no notch up here or anything like that, which is quite nice. So I don't mind a bit of a, you know, a bezel up here. So, you know, no big deal at all. Anyway, guys, that is my Vivo X20 Plus UD review. Let's have a conversation down below. Let me know what you guys think of the phone. Let me know if you have any more questions. Hopefully I can answer them. I know this isn't a traditional style review, but basically those are kind of the positive and negatives I was thinking of. And for the most part, I was really kind of testing out the phone with that fingerprint sensor. How well could I get used to that into my daily life as a daily driver? And it did work okay, except like I said, I had some problems with the UI and having things respond there properly. Anyway, if you guys like the content here, please leave a thumbs up. Think about hitting that subscribe button as well, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Cheers.